Lockdown's pretty boring, but we can all stay creative by giving ourselves little projects to do. I thought I'd do one today, but before I do that, I'm going to get myself a drink. Okay, so now I've got a drink and I've got a hoodie on and it's not quite just raining just yet. We'll talk about this project. So it's actually a project for Instagram and it's just a short scene on Instagram to a little bit of music, but I just thought it'd just be a little bit more creative to actually do something a little bit more intricate than just the straight photo or whatever. So I'll show you now what it looks like.
And I know that we've been good, and I believe that you've been hiding, 'cause you're so misunderstood, 'cause I'm looking for something bigger, and I'm really looking for food.
And we'll show you how I'm actually going about doing it and how we're building it and how we're getting that effect. So with that, don't judge my woodworking skills. See you in a minute. Okay, so what we're doing, we're making a structure that allows the camera to move in a constant arc. So you're not doing it by hand, you are doing it by hand, but you're using a fixed point in order to be able to make that work. So the way I'm doing it is I'm using two pieces of wood that are the same length, and I'm going to cut one of them down so that it fits right. I've measured the height that I need the actual arm to be, and we've got all the tools and everything we need. So we've got a speed square to measure it out, we've got a pencil, we've got safety goggles obviously because that's paramount and I don't want people doing it without safety goggles. This is something you can do, you don't necessarily have to do everything that I'm doing, but you can do it, it's quite easy to do. And I'm using this. Now this is going to be the hinge that I'm using. It's not actually a hinge, it's a door lock thing for going over like a shed or whatever, and you put your padlock through or whatever. Now the reason I'm using this and not using a proper hinge, you can use a proper hinge if you want to, no issues with that whatsoever, but this slot allows me to move the screw up and down. So the piece of wood that I've got, I can slacken off and I can move it up and down depending on the height, so I've got a little bit of wiggle room with it. So that's the reason why I've selected that, and I'm using a washer in order to be able to get this massive screw through and keep it in place. So with that, let's get to it. Okay, so now that we've got our jig made and we've got that set out, what I'm using is a Manfrotto two-piece clamp to clamp the camera to it. And effectively what happens is this goes in an arc and allows you to come down to the back of the bed, which means that you can then start off at the back of the bed again, come back through, and each time we'll have something different to do. So we've got some props, and I'm basically going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth. So there'll be sort of 5 runs throughout this, which allows us to sort of get that feel. So I'll just show you exactly what it looks like as a standard. So I'll just give it a run through so you can see. What we can do is hold on to these two parts here, these two arms, and then just pull it up. You see sort of what view you're getting, and then it comes down. And what we can do now is, because we know that we're all locked in there and we've got that focused in place, what I'll do is I'll set that to manual focus. That way I'm not going to worry about it being focused, because I know it's going to be in focus because nobody's moving over on the bed. It's only the camera that's moving, and effectively it's just a single scene each individual time. So with that, let's get on and give it a go. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed watching this and you get something from it. It's such a simple thing to do, but it's so interesting to be able to do it during lockdown. You don't have to use all the gear I've got. I've tried very hard to make it as Heath Robinson as possible so that you can do this at home rather than have to go out and buy special gear and all that kind of thing. Just use the things you've got around you if you have got them around you. If you haven't got a clamp like this, tape the camera to the board if you need to. And do it that way, or fasten it in any way, shape or form you can, providing that it's obviously stable, and just go with it from that. It's such a simple thing to do, and it's just something to keep you occupied creatively while we're all locked in, so to speak. So I hope you did enjoy it. Let's take another look at it and we'll see the final product.
And I know that we've been good. And I believe that you've been hiding, 'cause you're so misunderstood. 'Cause I'm looking for something bigger, and I really live for food.
Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!